Good afternoon from Alpha Cars. My name is Tom, coming to you from our Northampton location, and today we're going to be taking a look at this 2017 Nissan Altima. This Altima is showing just over 57,000 original miles, and if you would like to see a high-resolution detailed photo set, please reference the listing at alphacars.com. There, of course, you will also find a free included Carfax report, alongside a long list of technical data related to the vehicle's remaining tire and brake life, as well as individual readings from each panel using our paint depth gauge. But today I'll take you on a quick condition overview around both the interior and the exterior of the Altima, as well as showing you some of its more notable features. Of course, starting here in the exterior, taking a look at the paintwork, this vehicle is finished in a nice metallic silver paint, and as you can see, we don't have a whole lot of direct sunlight on it right now, but the paint is in very nice condition, showing very few imperfections. As usual, I'll take you really close to the side of the body so we can look for any irregularities in the way the light reflects off the panel, which will highlight any dings, dents, or major scratching. As you can see though, when I make my way all the way to the taillight here on the driver's side, this side looks just about perfect. It's really hard to notice any flaws in the bodywork. Now take a look at the wheels. Of course, it is your more basic setup with a steel wheel and a nice plastic cover there, which I will say, if you do ever have any curb rash, is much easier and less expensive to replace. And as you can see though, these wheels have never seen any curb impacts. They look really nice, and the tires are in good shape as well. Plenty of life left in those, and they have worn evenly. Same goes for the front wheel here. Only the most minor wear there at the very bottom of the cap. Now we'll take a look at the front fascia of the vehicle. You will have a couple of small paint chips to note here, one just there, no bigger than maybe a pea. It's a very small imperfection, and a couple slightly larger imperfections here on the passenger side, one just there on the bottom portion, and one slightly higher up on the bumper. Taking a look at the headlight lenses, crystal clear, no oxidation, discoloration, or scratching. They present very nicely, and I think they add some nice style to the front of the vehicle. In that front grille, we do have some really nice gloss black inserts, as well as that nice chrome surround carrying all the way from one headlight to the other. That, of course, complements the chrome Nissan badge very well. Moving on to the passenger side here. Again, another wheel in very nice condition, only minor wear on the bottom, as I mentioned on the front wheel of the driver's side. And just as we've done before, taking a look for any major imperfections in the bodywork. Making our way down the side, notice one tiny little scuff just there, hardly noticeable, and all the way to the back. You'll also notice on both sides this chrome trim around the windows presents very nicely, and the roof is in great shape as well. No signs of any damage. Same goes for the top of the trunk just there. One more wheel to look at with some minor scuffing, but as I mentioned, this is only a plastic cover, so really the wheel is in great condition. Looking at the rear of the vehicle, both of the taillights are crystal clear, just the same as the front headlights. All of your badging and your trim there on the trunk is shining beautifully with no hard water spotting or damage to the chrome finish. And on the lower portion of the bumper, you do have dual exhaust outlets, flanking this nice black plastic with the body color match on the diffuser panel. So we'll make our way to the interior. Now the interior on this vehicle is very nice. One option I'd like to note is the easy access feature just here. You could push this button when approaching the car to unlock it, and as you're leaving the vehicle, you can push it to lock the vehicle without ever using the key, which is a great feature on this vehicle. Now, taking a look at the seating arrangement, cloth seating, very, very high quality feel to it actually. And as you can see, it's held up very nicely. The stitching is in great condition, and you do have some nice white contrasted double stitching a bit higher up. Same goes for the passenger seat, very nice condition. And I'll make my way inside. You do have some nice leather material here on the door card, which is right where your arm rests, and everything you touch actually has a pretty nice feel to it. But as you can see, it is push button start. And as you'll see, fires up without any hesitation. Get that small little introductory graphic there in the gauge cluster, and the needle sweep to complete it there. So, looking at the condition here on the interior, the dashboard is in perfect condition, absolutely no wear to note whatsoever. Make your way down into the center control stack. You do have your climate vents, and just underneath them, your infotainment controller just here. You do have, of course, your radio controls just there, your CD controls on the right, and all of the buttons, all the way from your media controls to your climate controls, are showing no wear whatsoever. All of the text is held up beautifully, and everything functions exactly as it should. You do have your media inputs as well as a charger just there on the left, and a general power outlet on the right. Looking a bit further down, just next to your gear selector here, you do have a couple of cup holders and a storage tray just there behind it, as well as a two-tiered storage setup here in your center console. Taking a look at the steering wheel, you do have some of your controls for your gauge cluster just there, and your cruise controls just here on the right. Headliner's in very nice shape. Only a couple of minor scuffs there in the way back that you can see, but otherwise very nice condition. And otherwise not a whole lot to report in here. It's a very well cared for and well looked after example of a Nissan Altima. So next up, we'll take a quick look under the hood at the very, very efficient powertrain here in the Altima. Okay, so as you can see, I popped the hood up here at the nose of the Altima. We'll take a quick tour around the engine bay. Looking at all of the black plastic pieces, you'll find them very, very clean with no strained finish, showing any excessive heat around any of the parts. Looking very nice. All of the intricate hardware and the metal connections that you find all around the engine bay and behind the engine, as well as this heat shielding here, they're not showing any signs of corrosion. It looks very, very nice. And just quickly touch on one thing about this four-cylinder engine from Nissan. I found while researching the Altima for this video that this engine will achieve just a hair under 40 miles per gallon, 4-0. I find that very, very impressive, and I quite wish my vehicle would do that for me nowadays, with how expensive gas can be. So this is a very, very nice feature in the Nissan Altima. You're still making around 180 horsepower while producing 39 mpg. So that is plenty of power to get you anywhere you need to go safely and very efficiently. So I'm a huge fan of the efficiency from this four-cylinder. Now this is a two-handed operation because I need to put down that hood prop. So next up, I'll make my way to the second row of seating here at the back of the Altima, where you will find the seats very clean, just as you saw them in the front. And one thing that really impresses me, not only the quality of the materials on this door card, even for your second row, but also the amount of room I have. Now I'm about 6'4" and I'm sitting behind where I would comfortably drive the vehicle. As you can see, there's loads of room there for your front driver, but I have just tons of leg room for a vehicle in this segment in the second row. It's really surprising, and it might be one of the more spacious second rows in this segment. Also, my head is just almost touching the ceiling, but it is not quite yet. So very, very impressed with the amount of space here at the back of the Altima. This gives you a nice view of the cockpit there for your front occupants. Of course, you can see some more of that white stitching. And lastly, we'll make our way to the trunk, where, if I can recall where the switch is, it's just there. You will find a very spacious and very clean trunk setup. You'll see all of the original mats in great condition, as well as a nice large carpet covering up the trunk floor. You can also drop down those seats in a 60-40 split. Very practical, very spacious, and very clean. And that could be said about just about every aspect of this car. Now, if you have any further questions related to this 2017 Altima, please reference the listing at alphacars.com, and there you will find all of the relevant contact information. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you from Alpha Cars.